I am Quinny. Welcome to the channel, guys. In this video today, I wanted to look ahead to the big games this weekend. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to watch as much football this weekend as I normally would. It's my wife's birthday on Saturday, and it's my kids' birthday party on Sunday. Starts at 12 British time, so right in where the old firm is happening. So unfortunately, I won't be as close to the action this weekend as I normally am, which means I'm extra motivated to have a look ahead to what I'm going to be missing out. So I'll be tackling what looks to be on paper the four biggest matches of the game week: RB Leipzig and Borussia Dortmund, Celtic versus Rangers, Derby d'Italia, Inter Milan and Juventus, and Barcelona Sevilla. At any point in the video, guys, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe and share and retweet and all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and let's get stuck into it. If you could hit the subscribe button, I do daily global football content, everything from Wonder Kids and Rising Star Managers to fantasy football and watch-alongs. That will also automatically enter you into my April giveaway. This month, I'm giving away a 1 of 100 Belgium Youth International, Ewood Pletench, and 2 limited goalkeepers. If you want to stick around to the end of the video, we'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Of these 4 matches that we're going to be previewing today, there's only one action on Saturday. It's a 5:30 kickoff, and that is Dortmund hosting RB Leipzig. Now, Dortmund are one of the teams that every neutral football fan in the world, I think, follows because of the amazing players they've been bringing through over the last couple of years, especially with guys like Haaland and whatever. Under Marco Rose this year, or basically since the Klopp era of Dortmund left, they have been a wee bit pillar to post with trying to get a stable manager in there with a new identity to really carry them forward to some real success. I know Dortmund won the Cup last year, which is all well and good, but Dortmund want to be in Champions League finals again. They want to be winning Bundesliga titles, that kind of stuff, and Marco Rose has had like a really tough time of it. Now, it must be said that they're starting to get into some decent form, and at home, they've been very, very good all season, but the thing that's really killed Dortmund this year has been in transition. You know, the amount of goals I've watched Dortmund this year about half a dozen times, and almost every goal is when they're attacking and they lose possession. That's what transition means. The ball turns over, it transists, another team can go and attack, and the best team at that in the moment for me is Dominic Tedesco's RB Leipzig. So since Tedesco's came in, RB Leipzig are like the second best team in the Bundesliga. They've had an amazing form. We know how Leipzig are going to play. We know how Leipzig do play. We know what the Red Bull group's all about. It really does feel like one of those unmovable objects and unstoppable forces kind of situation meeting, where we've got a Dortmund defence that will leak goals in transition, and we've got a Leipzig attack that will score goals in transition for fun. On the other side of that is, if you look at the Leipzig record against Dortmund, they hate going to Dortmund. The form there is terrible. Dortmund have definitely got the best on the head-to-head, but Leipzig are coming into this unbeaten in the last 9. Going to really come down to the key players. Is it going to be Nkunku? Is he going to really show up and make a big name in this match and really enhance his profile that he's been creating this season? Or Rolls Royce is probably Marco Royce is probably the best shout for Dortmund, because there's no Haaland. Gio Rangers on the plane coming back from international duty with America. There's no Moukoko. The midfield has been kind of a shambles. I feel like there's going to be tons of goals in this match. Interestingly, because RB Leipzig had Spartak Moscow in the Europa League, and obviously Moscow get kicked out because of all the geopolitical stuff that's been going on, RB Leipzig's last 10 games is spanned out, and I know we've just come out of an international break, there has been time to rest and recover, right? But this is the kind of thing I always look at with these big matches, because it does come down to details. RB Leipzig's previous 10 matches spanned over a 74-day span, and for Dortmund, the same amount of matches were played over 57 matches, so that's 17 days of a difference. Now, like I say, I know we've just come out of a 2-week break. RB Leipzig are definitely in a better physical position. They're definitely in a better tactical shape as well, with the vibe around there. Everything's going in their favour, and if Leipzig are going to finally break that Dortmund hoodoo, it's this weekend. I think it's going to be an amazing match, and I'm got it down as a Leipzig win. Now, the biggest game of the weekend is the second one on our list. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff British time on Sunday, and that is Rangers at Ibrox hosting Celtic. It's a real 6-pointer for both teams. The title race has not been this close in like 10-11 years or whatever it is. Celtic at the moment has been a proper goal machine. You know, looking at the recent form, Rangers are still scoring goals, going very well in Europe, but they're not trigger happy as they were over the last 2 seasons especially. And when I've watched Rangers in Europe and any good performances I've had, the description of what Van Bronckhorst is trying to do at Rangers is definitely that kind of European professional element of controlling possession, taking your time, picking your spots, taking your chances when it goes, and that's worked out really well in Europe. The problem with that kind of tactic, unfortunately, is in the old firm, all that stuff goes out the window, and I think we kind of seen that in the last game, where it's high octane, the fans are on the pitch, it's blood and snotters all the way through the game, and if they can hang on to that, it'll definitely be a tough match, because Ibrox is a very difficult stadium for Celtic to play in, especially with only having like 4 fans or whatever's going to be there. So it's going to be an amazing game. If you're a neutral watching it, I'm sure you'll have tons of fun. Unfortunately, as I say, I will be missing it. I think it's going to be a battle of defence and attack. So I think The only kind of squad prediction I'll make for Celtic that'll be interesting to anyone watching this is I think the front three is going to be Jota, Giakoumakis and Maeda. And again, if you've watched Celtic a lot this year, you'll see that Ange Postecoglu has these almost Sarri-like substitutions where similar times, similar personnel and position changes, whatever. And I think Kyogo and Abada are going to be the wave of double sub that we get around 60 to 70 minute mark, depending on how the game is went at that point. I've got it down as a Celtic win, of course I do. I just think Celtic have got much more goals in the tank. You know, as much as Ibrox is a very difficult place for us to go to and the crowd will be hostile, if Celtic can go and get a goal or two quite early, which is not beyond the realms of possibility, the crowd can turn and really kill the match in Celtic's kind of favour. So it's a 6-pointer for both teams. Later on that day, but we've got the biggest game probably on the continent, and that is Derby d'Italia, Juventus against Inter Milan. Now, Allegri, when he's come into Juventus, initially it was a really bumpy start and getting results and whatnot was not coming, but over the last like 10, 15, 20 matches, they've been amazing. They've really recovered from that sticky start they had at the beginning of the year, and they're really making a challenge towards the top. Finding that form, they're finding that momentum, and as much as Inzaghi's been doing a really good job at current champions Inter Milan, they are really under the cosh. This is a make or break game for them. If they do not get 3 points against Juventus this weekend, they are out of the title race. And being the reigning champions, I know they sold Lukaku, but that being aside, for them to drop off so bad, and AC Milan, City rivals, are now sitting top of the table with Napoli potentially being the main contenders should Inter Milan not win this match, is unthinkable to the fans in Inter. So this will be a massive game. Now, I actually have this game down as a draw. When you look at the injury record or the injury list for both teams, it is substantial, but it's more than last minute ones for Inter Milan. Brozovic, Lautaro Martinez, De Vrij, these guys are relatively more new additions to the being out list, because also they've been featuring in the last couple of matches. And I think it's really just going to be a case of Vlahovic versus Dzeko. It's going to be a really tight game. If one of the teams do win it, it will be a penalty, or it will be a fox in the box kind of situation for one of these guys, making the difference, scoring a goal that a normal human being wouldn't be scoring. You know, they've got that nose for goal when they go and sniff it out. So I think it's really a case of Vlahovic versus Dzeko. And if none of them score, it's probably a draw. And then the final game of the weekend is Barcelona, the form team in Europe since Xavi's come into position, at home to unlikely second place Sevilla. Now, it must be said, Sevilla have to get every single point that's available between now and the end of the season if they are going to keep on Real Madrid's coattails and maybe give them some sort of title push. Barcelona will not want Sevilla to finish second. Barcelona also have European football against Frankfurt in the midweek, whereas Sevilla, this is all they've got to focus on. So I expect it to be a very well contested match. But because Sevilla, if you look at their record, they've got 12 draws this year. Sevilla love a draw, and I wouldn't be surprised if Lopetegui and Sevilla maybe go out with that intention of, we come home with a draw, if we can get a win, even better. And if Barca get to the 60th minute, 50th minute, and they start to get frustrated, like we've seen with Xavi since he's been into Barca, he will make like 4 substitutions over a 10-minute period, try and change the team and really go for it. So Sevilla, if that's the strategy they're going to be going into the match with, really need to be about their P's and Q's and really make sure that they have that attention to detail and they're really focused in on the match, because one mistake against this Barca team will cost them. I do have it down as a Barca win, but if it's not going to be a Barca win, I say Seville just love a draw. The injury list for Seville as well, their form has started to taper off, more draws have started to accrue, and when you look at their injury list, they are missing key dynamic players. And that's the thing when I've watched Seville over the last 3 or 4 weeks, is like, they're really good, but they're not great. You know, they're sitting second, but it's not like, oh, they've got this stellar player like Christopher Nkunku for Leipzig, for example, really lighting up the league or really making the team go above and beyond. It's more a case of they're more, how does that saying go? They're more than the sum of their parts or whatever, and they've just been really grinding in, get some good wins and drawing at all costs, not dropping any points. They've only lost twice this season. They've lost 0 in the last 15. The only team that comes close to that is Barcelona, who have lost once in the last 15. So on paper, it looks like it should be a really well contested match. If you're not going to catch the first half, you're probably not going to miss too much. It feels like a game that's all going to happen in the second half. I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below what your predictions are for these 4 matches. I'm really interested to see them, and we can come back to this next week and have a look back at the comments as well as what I said and see what actually came to pass and what happened. Have a great game week, guys. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff. Stay out of trouble. I'll catch you on the next one. Let's get into all the giveaway stuff before I let you go. I'm still doing monthly giveaways and I'm making it easier to enter. If you want to be entered to win this month's prize or any future giveaways here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button, you need to be a subscriber to enter, then leave a comment down below. Each month, a random comment from a random video will be selected as the winner, So the more videos you leave a comment on, the better the chance you've got of winning any of my giveaways. All the winners are announced at the end of videos the same way as we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. As always guys, if you've enjoyed the video today, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. On screen now is some other stuff that I've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.